While the hype for Avowed might be real, with each passing day as we inch closer to release, excitement is slowly dying. Now, before we get into the video, let's just very quickly address the poorly speaking elephant in the room. Now, for the last 2 years, I have been using an AI-generated voiceover for this channel, and the truth is that there is a very simple reason for this. As you can hear, I don't exactly have the best speaking voice. For those who have been subscribed for the last 2 years, this change might come as a shock to you. However, if you have been here since the beginning, you would know that this is nothing new. I never hid my real speaking voice. In fact, the first 100 videos or more on this channel is just me using my natural speaking voice. Now, I have decided to switch over to an AI-generated voice because it became very clear that people simply were not happy with the way that I sounded. The truth is, not everybody has the voice to narrate the YouTube video. However, just because you might sound like a dying elephant does not mean that you don't have a voice or an opinion to share. And thus, I turned to an AI-generated voice. Now, over the last year or so, the internet has been filled with a lot of lazy AI-generated slop. In fact, many who watch this channel has accused me of kind of doing the same thing. The truth is, I never really considered what I do to be generated slop. I actually do spend quite a bit of time on every video, and I do put a lot of effort into every single script that I write. I do all of my research, I cite my sources, and I even post all of my scripts on a blog, and thus I make sure that every single piece that I write is actually up to standard with what I would consider to be gaming journalistic articles. The only difference between me and someone else that you might watch within the space is the fact that I have a horrible speaking voice and I am also uncomfortable showing my face, thus I use an AI voice and gameplay. However, there goes just as much effort into one of my videos as someone standing in front of a camera reading you an article, occasionally disagreeing. Now, I have decided to give my natural voice another try, as I do understand the negative perception that people have towards AI voices. This video I will be using as kind of a testing phase. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speak in my normal voice, but I'm also going to switch in between the usual AI voices, and with a channel this size, I don't think that I have any recurring viewers. But by the off chance that there might be a few, I would love to know your real opinion about what you think the best is. Do you prefer the AI voice, or do you just prefer it when I talk myself? While I know the answer is likely going to be neither, I will ask that you try and bear with me, and with that long explanation, let's just get into the video. So, as I have mentioned, there are a lot of things happening around Avowed. We are a month removed from its release, and things are not trending in a good direction. However, it is important to understand how we even got to this point. So the controversy originally started with Elon Musk when he highlighted on Twitter that Microsoft was engaging in illegal hiring practices. A user by the name of Ian Miles Cheong originally made a statement in which he claimed, "Microsoft's gaming division is excluding whites from being hired to work on their video games. All of their new hires are unqualified queer and black people because the company's executives have an explicit mandate against crusty old white dudes." Elon Musk then responded to this by stating, "It should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against white guys." Now, this prompted the art director for Avowed to respond to Elon Musk by stating, "Oh Elon, you sweet summer child, this will only embolden me, you sad sack of shit." He then went on to say, "I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game, and I can't believe it actually worked." He then went on to say, "Just wait until you see the default." It is honestly surreal to have the world's richest boy whine about something that I am making. I am quite frankly giddy. I cannot think of a single person in the world that I would rather irritate. DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Now, it is worth mentioning that this director has since closed their account, so I do guess that his DMs are no longer open. This response also does say a lot about the motivations behind this person. It just screams, look at me, I'm not like all of the other bad white people. Now, if you include people of color or LGBTQ people in your video games to piss off white people like Elon Musk, then I don't really think you care about diversity and inclusion at all or ever really cared about it. At the end of the day, you are just doing what everybody has been saying all along. You're pandering. This is exactly what people are pushing back against. If you think the majority of gamers are against people of color or women or any other group, I don't think you have been paying attention. They are pushing back against freaks like this who are using these groups of people to pat themselves on the back about how stunning and brave they are. Now, obviously, not everybody agrees with this. Kotaku also wrote an article titled "The Campaign Against Avowed revealed the bigotry that fuels the anti-woke."
Now, in all honesty, this is a lengthy article with multiple mental breakdowns, but the conclusion is as expected. You are a bigot, racist, homophobe, and bad person because you disagree with them. To put it in their own words, they write in the conclusion,
Avowed revealed this for what it is. The game hasn't replaced anyone with a minority representing character, it hasn't changed the length of a schoolgirl's dress, it hasn't removed a reference to something unpleasant that got through in a version from the 1900s. None of the usual massive crimes. It is just a picture of some people, an entirely ignorable tick box on a character creator screen, and a sarcastic art director who thinks too bad Elon Musk is a too bad. But we are going after it too because more than anything else, it hasn't made any special effort to center a straight white man in its marketing. Because when it is all stripped away, that is all that this is about, pure bigotry. Now, firstly, the ignorable tick box that they are referencing here is a pronouns tick box. If it doesn't matter, I don't know why you are fighting so hard to include it in every single video game, and honestly, I actually really do not care about that, but you are not going to tell me for one moment that you don't care. Secondly, you have spent the better part of the last 10 years alienating white men, so what do you expect the reaction is going to be when that is what makes up a massive part of your player base? White men is the second largest gaming group only behind Asian men. So obviously there is going to be a certain level of pushback when certain groups feel like they are being disrespected. Kotaku has also been crying for years now about how gaming has a white men problem, ignoring that certain groups will just always naturally gravitate towards certain things. Gaming does not have a white man problem any more than Taylor Swift has a white woman problem. If the aim is inclusivity, then you cannot do that at the expense of other groups that are already in the circle. True exclusivity is allowing for more people to enter the space and not replacing the existing groups. Most gamers are for a more inclusive space, including myself. We are just not buying what you are selling.